listening to the Omar the Barbarian podcast, where we talk about what is best in life. I got my brothers, the top men, Devon Sanders and Chris Scott, back in the building. Chris Scott, creator, writer, artiste of Two-Ton Rock God. Devon Sanders, writer extraordinaire, Seven Hills, Bleeding Cool. Each have worked in comics since, like, God invented them. Today's topic is...
Took a layup from Stan Lee back in the 40s.
I was Joe Simon's pool cleaner.
Today's topic is days of closeted geekdom. Or should I say, long gone are the days of closeted geekdom. Interestingly enough, before we got on, I did a Google search and I was like, is geek now chic? And found some interesting stuff. There was an Imgur study that was done in like May of 2016, where it was said that being a geek is now considered a positive thing. That Gen Xers and baby boomers are more likely to call themselves geeks, or to say they're into geeky things. And older generations are far more likely to say, well, they don't consider themselves geeks at all. And as I did a little bit more digging, what I found was that it really boils down to authenticity. It's not so much geek culture. It's just that geek culture and nerd culture is being associated with not being afraid to be who you are. And that's a good thing. In fact, that's a great thing. But I also feel like, and Devon, you and I were talking about this when you came up with this topic. Even though there was a time not too long ago where being considered a nerd or a geek or it was social death, but now like entire franchises, Spider-Man probably being the most obvious, where the hero is this nerd who suddenly gets powers. That origin type or foundation, the way that Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, the way they came up with it back in the day, where it was like Flash Thompson picking on Peter, like you really wouldn't. In fact, shoot, you look at the movies now, and Flash Thompson isn't so much the jock anymore, that he was in that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, when did he become that dude? Right,
math douche.
Right,
he's a math douche. Yeah. So nerd has always been synonymous with intelligence, but basically to your own detriment back in the day. A chess club, for example, was something that was not cool. But now Queen's Gambit debuts on Netflix, and chess.com's subscriptions go up, and 62 million households know who Beth Harmon is. So being a nerd is now synonymous with authenticity. This is who I am, and I'm proud of it. And thus the days of having to hide your geek or nerd side in the closet are gone. That's the upside. The downside to me is that geek culture is no longer owned by the geeks. Now it's big business. Geek culture is mainstream. So while it's entirely awesome that we now live in a world where we can have 22 superhero movies that culminate in seeing the Avengers take on Thanos, it also means that Wolverine might not be the Wolverine you grew up loving by the time he makes it to his next flick. So I wanted to get into with you all your thoughts on, because we all are of a certain age where we came up and have seen both sides of this thing. We saw it when it was, before it was popular, and now that it's more mainstream where you can go to Comic-Con and not actually look at any comics. So what are you all's thoughts about that? Like, when do you think it shifted? Why did it shift? Do you like that it shifted? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it both? I would love to get your thoughts on this.
Well, at a certain point, it becomes just people who are unabashed in the fact that they like to read things. So that's nice. Really, it goes back to reading is fundamental. And generally speaking, geeky, nerdy people read shit. So thumbs up for that. And I have no idea where this thought is. Like, I lost it completely. Man,
we are
like
off
Assassin's
to a
Creed.
great
He's ready to
start.
cook.
So it's like Assassin's Creed. You jump off the thing and you look like a majestic eagle, and then you fucking bam right into the ground. Just oh no, Devon, tag in.
Okay, hot tag. Here we go. I think it's because the technology is caught up to our desires. You know, just in the sense that I think that being a closeted geek was a very insular thing, in the sense that, like, if you found a kindred soul, like I did back in high school with Omar, and was like, it was almost like a very closeted thing, like, hey, I like comics. And you would kind of slide a comic out, and it would be like, what? I like comics too. But don't tell the pretty girl that we got the thing for that we like comics. And we could talk about comics on the phone, or we could slide into the cut somewhere at high school and talk about comics, but you couldn't do it back then. But to sort of get back to the original point, on the phone. Yes, we did that. We talked on the phone.
Yeah, we used our phones as phones.
I know. There was a time when you actually looked forward to a phone call. When it was like, if you got a phone call that was long distance from, say, New York, you would do this whole thing and be like, I'm on the phone. Not so much anymore. But no, this man is just railroading me tonight.
Remember when you had to pick between phone and internet? You couldn't have both at the same time.
Hey, you know what? He tagged you in just to troll you. That's really
no, but to get back to the point, it's like now, while we were doing all that stuff, we were actually gathering the tools to make the world what it is right now. All the geeks that were in science classes, who were taking computer courses and all that other stuff, guess who's in charge of the science fiction? Who's in charge of, like, you know, writing the comics? Who's in charge of creating new content? Who's in charge of special effects to make things that we didn't think were possible, even in, like, I'd say even like the 90s or the early 2000s possible. Like, we're living in a world where you can watch a CGI Incredible Hulk get punched by Chris Hemsworth in an Avengers movie, and it flows seamlessly. And you have no choice but to sort of sit there and just go, all right, this is where we're at. And I got no problems with it. I'm actually quite happy about it.
There's
no gatekeeping. There's no gatekeeping on my end. The more the merrier. Because I remember a day when, like I said, you used to have to keep this sort of thing that you loved, and you kept it for yourself. And if you found somebody who loved it as much as you did, that was a friend. And now you got more friends than you've probably ever had before in your whole life. So I don't think it's a bad thing.
I think the people that think it's bad because they latched onto this as basically this whole, the nerdery, whatever thing that they worship, became their prevailing personality trait. And without that being an exclusive thing, without that ownership, they realize that any new people coming in may discover that they are, in fact, to their core, pieces of crap. And and that shit terrifies them.
Yeah.
So that's why you get all those gatekeepy, like, I don't want to generalize here, but let's say magic nerds. Oh man, they are ravenous about, like, new people, you know, especially, like, you know, I mean, obviously elephant in the room is, like, you know, like whenever women decide to try and like jump into this, like one of the fucking hurdles that they run into is some douchebag nerd.
Yeah,
It's like, well, how much do you know?
I
And then,
know. I hate
like,
that.
what are you, the SAT motherfucker? Shut
I
up.
know. It's like, who set you up as gatekeeper? Who set you up as having to vet the hobby?
Fuck
It's
off,
like,
Gozer. Get out of
right.
here. It's a deep cut Ghostbusters reference for those at home.
Well done. Well done. No, that's I hadn't even thought about it from the gatekeeper POV. But I think you're both absolutely right. You know, that there are people who position themselves, but I never thought about it's to hide who they really are, which is counterculture to what made geek culture chic to begin with, which is the celebration of you are your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Their authentic selves, in some cases, probably a douchebag. But, you know, they can hide behind, like, I really like Voltron. Nah, G. Gonna have to develop them social skills at some point or another. Just bare bones. Just know how to say hi and keep your dick in your pants. Just please. Please.
But, you know, like, I think that, especially with comics, I think it's a very insular hobby, where it's a great hobby because it is just you and the whole world. Like, you pick up a comic and it's just like, if the writer, artist, letterer, colorist, editor do a great job, you get absorbed into a whole world. And you don't have to talk to anybody about it if you choose not to. And with the internet being the way that it is now, if you choose to talk about it, you can find somebody who can probably line up with whatever opinion you have about the thing. So, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? It just really depends on the person. If you're going into it with like, okay, you know, I really want to see who's out there and talk to somebody about this incredible thing that I've been reading, then that's what you want. But if you're just like, oh, I was in, you know, the comic shop and I saw somebody in there, they were like a total noob and they didn't know what they wanted, I hated them, so I put a whole bunch of like, you know, bad energy out there, and now they don't like comics anymore.
That's the motherfucker. We gotta get rid of that dude.
Yeah,
he poisons the well.
That's a fact. That's in fact what you just said right there. That to me is the worst thing that you can do is destroy somebody's love of this thing before it's even become solid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to make somebody hate a thing that is one of the greatest things that you can love. And when you think about just what comics have done for everybody, there was
I mean, not just even comics. I mean, let's talk about like D&D and just talk about like cinematic universes and Harry Potter. I mean, there's all these fandoms that people can actually get into and love. And
I've never been able to get into D&D, but God bless all of y'all that can.
Yeah.
Seriously. No. Dude, much as you like storytelling and everything,
See, I love RPG. I love video game RPGs because they do the math for me.
Have you played D&D?
Tried.
Okay.
Once, but I freely admit I may have had the wrong introduction because it involved people.
So this was done to you. This the very thing we're talking about. Man, who hurt you? Who got you?
Who didn't?
I'm gonna say we're gonna get you the right group for D&D. We're gonna get you the right group. Yeah, I want to
be a night elf mohawk.
I want you to be a night elf mohawk. I know that reference. Yes.
No, I'm pretty sure I'd probably be either a warrior or I think is Berserker. That's a class, right?
Barbarians
Barbarian.
Yeah.
Whoever's a tank and has an axe, that's me.
That's fair, and that can be arranged. Okay, but Devon, to your point, it's beyond the pages of a comic book magazine. It's books, it's films based on. What's so interesting is how all of everything that we love today is based on pretty much a comic book,
right?
Or some quote unquote nerd, somebody who was their authentic selves idea. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Let me ask you this: when do you all think it shifted? What was the point? From when it went from that when it came out of the closet. And I've got some thoughts on when I think it shifted and became very mainstream, but I'm curious to know what you all think.
For me personally, it was the turn of the millennium.
I have no idea what. I can't even nod and play it off like I know what that means. I have no idea what that is.
That was a Will Smith album.
That came out in, I think it was like 1999.
Yeah.
That might actually be true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might actually
be millennium. Yeah.
Like a kid, but around that time, like between 99 and 2000, because at that point you had like Blade had sort of been out under the radar and like sort of gained traction. And then, from there they announced fucking X-Men, and like we were on the eve of X-Men, and it's like, yeah. So then everybody who even motherfuckers like bullied people like me that was like, oh, X-Men. And for some backstory, I was so nerdy that I had like an X-Men lunchbox, and my gym teacher called me X-Man. Like that was his pejorative nickname for me. X-Man. Hey, X-Man, run the ropes. I ain't doing that shit, coach. I ain't got no arm strength. This was at least 200 pounds ago. So like, I was a tiny, frail dude trying to get up a rope. Ain't happening. I had like fucking Adventure Time noodle arms. Anyway, I digress. So X-Men was coming out, and that shit just blew people's mind.
Right.
And like everybody who would, just normally be railing against that kind of geekdom or expression of, your true self or whatever, even they were like, yo, you hype about X-Men, son? And it's like, sure. Where is this energy where was this energy when you were like pushing me into the locker? Like, what is happening? We could have been keeping it funky this whole time, Daquan. Like, what's happening?
Daquan somewhere hearing this, upset.
Hope he stubbed his fucking toe.
Daquan,
hope he had high expectations about X3, motherfucker.
That is unusually cruel to say that to that man. Daquan is one of my 25 listeners. You'd be nice to Daquan.
Daquan's 1 through 7.
Right.
I'm terrible. I'm awful.
You said I hope he had high expectations about X3. That is cruel.
Didn't we all?
We did. They ruined that movie.
Wolverine was on a sentinel head and was like, well, shit. All right, let's go.
Yeah,
all right. For the movie. And it's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no. This is why we didn't let Brett Ratner do things, isn't it? Shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do believe it was around 99 to 2000 when it started to become, actually socially acceptable to just sort of, do this thing and like these things. You also can't discount the rise of Toonami and anime being
That's
propagated
fair.
in the US.
Yeah.
Like, that helped too.
So let me ask you this, okay, to that to that end, because we're talking about, and Devon, you made this point just a couple minutes ago with the genres being broader than comics. And I think if we look at it, we say, all right, back in the day, nerd was synonymous with intelligence. To your point, Chris, earlier, you read stuff, and that's to be celebrated. But it wasn't really celebrated back in the day. Oh, you nerds, you know math. How dare you? You read books. How dare you? Right. This kind of gets loosely associated with comics. Oh, you're a nerd, you're smart, therefore you read things and so forth. And then that has different pockets. D&D, nah, I'm not going to, my first introduction to D&D was the Tom Hanks movie where he's crying outside in the armor at the end, which if you don't know what that is, Chris, I can see by your raised rock eyebrow, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Google Tom Hanks D&D and just for your own entertainment. I forget the name of the flick.
I know which one you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a, Tom Hanks is like, I never made that. Yes, you did. We saw it, Tom Hanks.
Mazes and Monsters?
Mazes and Monsters.
Mazes and Monsters. Yep.
What the fuck? And why is the cover to this movie have old ass Tom Hanks from like 2006 on it when it clearly says 1982?
Yeah, they don't want, Tom Hanks is like, nah, I didn't make that. He's somewhere like, nah. He's not being his authentic self because he doesn't want you to know that movie came out. But there's a scene at the end where you should watch that just for posterity.
Like I've seen
Let's bring it back.
All right.
I feel like we're kind of like moving away from something.
My point there was that the introduction to, these pockets was D&D. It was the thing. My boy Greg was the one, when I was like 12, was the one that introduced me to D&D. And I remember we were at camp and he was like, man, you should play this game. And I remember looking at it saying, one, it was like too much math. And I'm like, man, I'm not trying to do anything that has that many books in summer camp. I'm trying to go kick a ball or do something. But over the years, I started to realize like, wow, wait, this is something that, you mean I get to be a part of the story? I get to, to be the hero. And that had the appeal to me, but it was still, to your point earlier, Devon, something that I didn't want, the females to know that I was into. Like, they can't know this.
Right.
And so, or really the so-called popular kids at the camp, because they would all make fun of us. So I was, would distance myself from it if the popular kids were around. And then after they were gone, I would say, oh, I really want to play that because I really wanted to be, down with it. So what I found, interesting with that is that it's these different pieces that all get associated with being a nerd. And so I think the rise in popularity of one or two or a particular genre to me is a spark, but not the catalyst that did it. Because to your point, Chris, certainly X-Men 2000, Blade 99. Heck, I could even go back as far as 97 when Buffy debuted. But this to me, but man, maybe even Buffy more so than, in terms of being a start. But you could even say Batman coming out in 89. Is you can say, well, okay, that's the spark that kind of, because that went mainstream. I mean, Prince wrote the soundtrack, for crying out loud. So you could say that. But I think for
like personally, I think that you're on to something. I think that with Batman 89, the spark was lit. Like you couldn't go down the street without seeing somebody, because you remember this. Seeing somebody in the Batman t-shirt. Literally the bus shelters would get the glass was being busted out and people were stealing the Batman posters.
Yeah.
There were toys. There was a cartoon that came out like about 3 years later, I think it was.
Yeah.
92.
Yeah, 92.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3 years later. And it was just like you had this insane momentum. And it was like, oh, people are starting to see what we've been seeing for like, years now. And I actually remember back then people would actually come up to me and ask me questions about Batman and stuff. And there was this moment where it was like, all right, I really want to tell you these things, but I don't want to look like I'm too deep into knowing what these things are. And
Can't reveal my mask.
I know. But you know what? And spoiler alerts, all three of us, we're black.
We are black.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. I'm proud to be so. But that just kind of goes to saying that there's also a different level of geekdom when you're a black geek.
Yeah. There's different levels of
right
resistance.
Right.
For lack of a better word.
There's different levels of having to hide yourself when you're a black geek.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be that guy, or that girl who likes the thing that's going to get them roasted.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
And so
there ain't nothing on this planet more merciless than a black kid
roasting you.
That's a fact. Yeah.
For your choice of like love of whatever fandom there is.
Like X-Men, motherfucker.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you know what? That also kind of what you just said. X-Men kind of was the tipping point. Like along with like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, where it was like, okay, these are things that like I can go see. Like, and I'm speaking from like not my perspective, but watching other people in the theater, and people who I know had never read a comic book were in that theater to see a Spider-Man, or they knew X-Men from the X-Men cartoon, or Spider-Man from the cartoon. Also, yeah, now that I think about it, I think that might have been another like sort of like stepping stone to where we're at right now.
Pretty much
the 90s Spider-Man.
Just in that
very important.
Yeah, 90s Spider-Man. Mm-hmm.
That 90s Spider-Man cartoon was fire. Yeah. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I think that that's a big part of why we're in the place that we're in, is because, quite frankly, we want to be out there now. We want to show this thing. We want to show the love for this thing, or these things that we've always had love for. Because, everybody likes to make fun of safe spaces, but, geekdom is kind of a safe space now. And I'm thankful for it, to be honest.
Let me ask y'all this. And I hadn't originally, I thought of Batman, kind of on the fly. I was thinking Buffy, but then I went back and I was like, 89. And I agree with you. I think it's safe. In fact, I would probably change it just slightly and say it's safer. Mm-hmm. Because my position is that I think it may, let me ask you this form of question. Has it gone too far? And I don't mean that in a gatekeeper sense. I mean that in a commercialized sense. Is there too much?
No, I don't
I'm
see
proud
it.
of the 80s. This is not too much.
Yeah. No, dude. Like, you remember days when like you couldn't find a freaking like, Spider-Man costume at Halloween because there just weren't any.
Right.
I mean, there were some, but now it's like, it's almost like you have no choice but to be Spider-Man or the Joker.
Dracula, Joker, or Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's never enough. Like, no bull. Like today, I went to Hasbro Pulse and I bought myself a freaking Moira McTaggart action figure.
They make A Moira McTaggart
Yes.
action.
Specifically,
Wow.
the Moira from the recent House of X
House
Powers
of X.
10 series.
Yeah.
How about
So
that?
she's got like a lab coat,
Yep.
but then she also has accessories where you can like pop her arms off and then put on new ones, and she's like mod 60s Moira.
Right. And yeah,
Huh.
if you can't get hyped about
That's
a
fair.
place where you would want to buy a freaking Moira McTaggart action figure over a Wolverine or a Cyclops, which were also offered in the line, I don't know what to tell you.
To be fair, if you're collecting a Moira, you probably got a Wolverine and Cyclops already.
Somewhere, right, already.
That's true.
You have fulfilled that spot in your collection.
Right.
That's fair.
So it's never enough. And you know what? There was a point. This was maybe like a year or two ago. And you know, full disclosure, I've been reading comics for over 40 years. But I'm on the bus and I'm sitting there, and this young, skinny black kid comes on, young black man. And
Morales approached you, Devon?
No, I'm not. Let me tell my fucking story, asshole. He gets on the bus and he has on some J's. He's got jeans on. He's got a Miles Morales t-shirt on, Miles Morales backpack on, and he is working that look. And I'm just like looking at him, and there's a bit of envy in me because I'm like, damn, I wish I were that brave, 30 years ago. Quite
frankly, he got on J's. I wish I had that money.
Well, but yeah, God, you were stepping all over my shit tonight. My point is that this kid didn't need to be brave. He was just living his life. Now, 30 years ago, wearing a Spider-Man t-shirt and a backpack with Spider-Man on it would not have been brave. I mean, it would have been brave because it would have been like, the fuck are you, 12? And it's like, no, this is simply now a kid living his life who also has a Spider-Man who looks like him, and he can see himself in that.
That's a fair point. I think that I would say this because I'm in the camp of I think there's a little too much. But let me say this. Let me say why and why it's not entirely a bad thing to me because of the point you just made. I think that there is wheat and there is weeds growing up at the same time. And what I mean by that is you have a lot of good things that have come about. And I think there's a lot of things that are watered down or too commercialized. I blame, and blame might be too strong a word, but for me, it all goes back to, and this is a show that I loved, The Big Bang Theory. I enjoyed The Big Bang Theory, but I felt like it was the piece that took it. That's where we jumped the shark.
I'm going to stop you at we. Because that show is nerd blackface, and I hate it.
Yeah, I'm with Chris.
Really?
I despise The Big Bang Theory.
Okay, wait. So I've touched a nerve. So I would like to please.
I believe it's a show built on the more pervasive and negative nerd stereotypes that have emerged throughout, the past few decades, really. Like The Big Bang Theory, like just as a visual, like the way those kids look is just a soft evolution of how the Revenge of the Nerds kids looked, like that kind of. They just have like Pumas on or whatever, like modern clothes.
I hate that show because it is designed not for you to laugh with those characters; it's for you to laugh at those characters.
Got you.
And that's why I don't like that show.
Got you.
Like I I mean, I see bits and pieces of people that I actually know in every one of those characters on Big Bang Theory, but there's nothing in any of those characters that makes me want to be friends with any of those characters. Like they're just like I said, everyone is there and just blown up big and just shown like, hey, you don't want to be like this guy, and that's what they do. I'm sorry, I just don't like that show. I think it's like Chris said, it's geek blackface. It's like all the worst parts of what outsiders who aren't actually within the culture
Okay.
think that geekdom is.
That's a fair statement.
I don't get a sense of three-dimensionality with any of those characters as far as their nerdiness or geekdom goes. They are characters.
One note. Yeah, they're one note. Yeah.
Right.
I think there's attempts to three-dimensionalize them as it goes on, but by that time, the horse is already out of the barn, and now you're trying to close the door.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the most popular, probably the first 6 seasons of that show, is exactly as you put it. It's one note. I never thought about it as nerd blackface, but yeah, that's accurate.
I can tell you one absolute objective positive about that show, though. Without it and without its popularity, we would not have the Harley Quinn cartoon.
What?
Really? Where do you make that connection?
Kaylee Cuoco?
Yeah.
The neighbor girl?
Yeah.
That's Harley. And she executive produces the show and voices Harley and all that shit.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Harley would have happened regardless, but
but it wouldn't have been that good. That show is excellent.
I think what happens is Harley must be the nerd final boss for blondes who come out of Big Bang Theory. Because if you're blonde and in the Big Bang Theory, eventually you wind up voicing Harley.
Wasn't there one?
What?
I thought it was just the one lady.
No, the little squeaky voiced one. She also did Harley in another one. I can't remember what it was. Know that. So yeah, eventually, if your name isn't Mayim Bialik, you wind up voicing Harley.
Chris, you see what happens now that Devon has his Tron headphones? He's in rare form tonight. That's what it is.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I you've made many points I cannot disagree with. Man, that I do think in terms of the general populace, this is where I'm going with this. Once that show, because if you think about when that show dropped, it was 2007. All right, so we're a decade beyond when Buffy hit, and we've had the X-Men with all those pieces. This show ran for 12 seasons, and there's, I think, a portion of the culture that you can't deny that it ran so long that there's a lot named after it, if I'm not mistaken, where they shot the thing. The show is a part, a reflection of what some people will define as this culture. And I think that while it's awesome that you can get a PS5 and get a Miles Morales game where he is Spider-Man, which is fantastic. Oh, I don't have a PS5. I would love one. If you giving one away, I would like to have it.
Man,
you can't get a PS5 anyway.
Game, thinking that I would have a PS5 by now.
No, you ain't gonna have a
PS5 game in a box, unwrapped, just ready to play. Nothing, no system, nothing. I had to double dip. I bought that shit on PS4. It was excellent. But damn, I felt like a chump.
Yeah, I'll put it this way: it's to your point, Devon. You can have a Miles Morales led game,
Mm-hmm.
because of but the that to me is wheat. Big Bang Theory is the weeds, and the I think that there's a piece of the culture that suffers, because of it being wider spread. It's kind of like, to me, how anybody can go on cdbaby.com and put music out.
Mm.
You know, anybody anywhere can do it. You're going to get some really good music. You're going to get some music that you're like, no. It's great because the playing field is level. But, one out of every 10,000 people that, uploads music, you're going to get maybe one person that's close to Prince, that's actually doing it. So I think you do lose something the more diluted the culture can become. And I also think that it impacts, the more commercialized it becomes, the more limiting it can be story-wise to the characters that you love. You can't tell the same types of stories because you cannot utilize characters in the same way that you could because they're more popular, more eyes are on them. For example, you can't really put Mickey Mouse in anything. Mickey Mouse is an icon. You can't just do anything you want to, with Mickey Mouse. You can't in any of these types of characters and things. And I don't want to go down the path of intellectual property or anything like that. But my point is, the more popular a thing becomes, the more eyes get on it, the more scrutinized it becomes, the less niche. And so it's not from so much a gatekeeper, everybody's welcome, but is it what we loved? Or does it just look like what we loved? No, it's a rhetorical question. I just,
No, that's a great point. No, I think that you're on to something in that, especially with like where we're at, like let's say with like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Um, Weirdly enough, I think that we're getting the most absolute versions of those characters that we've probably ever seen, probably even more so than in comics. Um, because what's going on in the movies is that they're taking from like literally decades of different iterations of the thing and trying to distill it down to its purest essence. Um, like I know we talked about this the last time we got together, but we talked about the Captain America movies. There are things in those Captain America movies that to this day still give me chills. And I remember it's close to 30 years when I read the comic where Steve Rogers, who was captain at that time, picked up the hammer for the very first time and in order to save Thor. And I got chills. And so when I'm sitting there in that movie theater and I see that the Russos and I can't remember the names, but the guys who wrote Avengers Endgame are homaging this thing that meant so much to me 30 years ago and pulling it off and making that thing that I saw or read 30 years ago life and making it canon and making it one of the most pivotal moments, not just of like the Avengers Marvel franchise, but like sealing it to me as one of like comics' most iconic moments. Like we were winning in that moment, man. We were absolutely winning in the sense that like those times when we were sitting there in our rooms, probably not the most popular kids reading these comics and, to finally get to a place where that thing that you saw 30 years ago is on that screen and people are losing their minds over it lets you know that you were doing the right thing all along, and I'm totally good with that.
I love how you put that. Yeah. So to your point there, there's always going to be some negative that comes along with a great thing, but the thing being great at the end of it is worth the little bit of stuff. The wheat you get is worth the wheat. The juice is worth the squeeze.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Got it.
There you go.
I totally agree with you, except for maybe one character in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the best version of Spider-Man is not any of the movies, not any one of the movies, not even Spider-Verse. I think the best version of Spider-Man is that PS4 game that came out 2 years ago.
I can't disagree with that.
That was such a complete
Yes.
version of Peter Parker.
Yes.
That I don't ever need to see him be a kid again. Like, he should be a 24-year-old that has had to go through a whole lifetime of tragedy and grief in like 8 years and still finds a reason to pick his ass up out of bed in the morning and do this shit. Like, that's Pete.
Yeah.
Now with Miles, I think you got like an argument there, because I don't honestly think that the best version of Miles exists yet, because I don't think people are done innovating with that character.
True.
He's too young.
Yeah.
And when you really think about it, like, I think only at this point, and this is amazing to me, 2 people have written that character.
Wow.
That's it. It's like Brian Michael Bendis and Saladin Ahmed. That's it. That's it.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
he's
he's
not
popped
even
up in
close
other
to
things,
being.
but as far as like actual Miles Morales Spider-Man, 2 people have written that character.
Wow. How old is the character?
Rough, I think 10 years old. That's about it.
Wait a minute. He's only been around since 2010?
Maybe 11 years. But no, Miles is a super young character.
What? Yeah. Damn.
Wow.
But
oh, wait, I'm sorry, man.
No, I'm sorry. But I remember I wrote this like it was a weird Twitter tweet to myself where it was almost talking to my past self 30 years ago, where I was like, you will see a day where within a year's time, you're going to watch a black Spider-Man in a movie theater. You're going to see, like, what was it, 2 weeks after you saw an Aquaman movie. And Crisis on Infinite Earths is going to play out on television within a year. And it was just like, my God, we are in a good place right now.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that, like, I'm in a place where I can actually appreciate it, where I don't even want to pick it apart anymore, where I'm like, oh, you did that wrong. You did that wrong. And I'm just like, no, I'm looking at Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I'm 100% good with this. Jason Momoa might not be the Aquaman that I see in my mind's eye, but damn it, it's somebody's Aquaman, and people seem to enjoy it, and I'm good with that. Same thing with Miles Morales, where it's just like, you know what? This might not have been the Spider-Man I grew up with, but there are generations of kids going forward who might think of Miles Morales as their Spider-Man. And I'm absolutely good with that, man.
Devon, once the, like, people start acting right again outside and outside opens up again,
right?
You should come over and play the Miles Morales game, like, all the way through. because it's like a 4-hour game.
Oof, okay.
Yeah, you can knock that shit out. It's excellent. It's a bit too short for being $50, but whatever.
Right.
But it's good. It's real good, and like the way that your neighborhood in the game interacts with Miles, it grabbed me, man. It grabbed me because like it's not New York Spider-Man. He's our Spider, like, and that is a quote in the story, man. It's so good. It's good. It's so good. Play the game.
Right.
Devon, have you never played the original Insomniac version of Spider-Man, the one that just Miles Morales is the Steve?
I'm still playing Mario Kart, man.
Oh my Lord!
There's no shame in that because Mario Kart is evergreen.
So it's amazing. But I mean, bruh, man, go over to Chris's house and play Miles Morales because play the other one as well. It's the first game that I've ever, Spider-Man game I've ever played where you don't want to. You have the option to fast travel to places, but you don't want to. Because the fun of the game is swinging through the city to get to spots.
Okay.
I have put that game on, not Miles Morales because I don't have it, but the Spider-Man joint, and not done any missions. I've just wanted to swing around the city.
The sense of speed and motion is ridiculous. Like, actually, Amani can't, for the listeners, that's my girlfriend.
Your
I do that out there. It's like audience. She can't look at me play that game because it gives her motion sickness. Because my TV is like it's like a 4K TV, so it's like we're in there. She can't deal with it. It's like, nope. Let me know when you on the ground. Can't deal with it. Can't deal with it.
That's fantastic. But Devon, I think you and Chris, you both nailed it. On that, it's we're in a good place. And I can't disagree with that. There's always going to be some pieces about a thing that's good that is going to bring about some stuff that you don't love, but it doesn't mean you get rid of the thing that you love or that you change the thing that you love. You appreciate it. And I love that point that you made too, that you don't need to nitpick it. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just appreciate that you have it. That might make me watch the Wolverine again.
Wolverine?
The Wolverine. I'm still mad. I'm still mad, but I might forgive it.
Just watch Logan and just call it a day, man.
Don't watch Logan. You don't want to be sad.
Yeah, that's true.
Y'all know my beef with the Wolverine, though, right? Y'all know my beef with it.
I don't. Was it fucking Silver Samurai Robot?
It's Silver Samurai Robot, right? Silver Samurai Robot. But even beyond that, like I could have been all right with that if the Silver Samurai Robot sword could not cut adamantium. I'm mad about that because if you look at here's where it really it upsets me, where I want to flip tables. All right. The first X-Men comic I ever bought with my own money was X-Men 170, I believe it was 3. It's got Wolverine and Rogue on the cover.
Is that the one where Wolverine's running in the in the foreground and in the foreground,
and Rogue is running behind him, and she just
This is like Poncho Rogue.
Yes.
Okay.
This was my introduction to the X-Men, and so back then all I was collecting was G.I. Joe, and then I was like, that looks dope, and so I pick it up, and then I liked it so much I went back and got back issues and everything. So my introduction to this whole new world was Wolverine fighting the Silver Samurai, and adamantium could not be cut with his sword when it was charged up. This was my introduction. So when you tell me he's going to be in this film that is based on this, I'm there. Oh my God, this is a gift to my 12-year-old self. I'm oh my Lord. And then I saw them claws get cut by a robot Silver Samurai. He wasn't a mutant. And I was like, how dare you do this to me? It's like somebody took the first X-Men comic I ever bought, and ripped it in half in front of my face and said, "Yes, here," and handed it back to me.
Damn.
You have offended me.
But and like, what did Jordan say? And I took that personally, right? I took it personally. Yes. So but to your point, Devon, we got a flick based on the first X-Men comic I ever bought.
There you go.
They wiped their butts with it, but we got it. And so maybe I can rewatch that up to a point and just turn it off before it gets to the point. Yeah, because that's at the end of the flick. So, yeah.
He gets the arrows from the ninjas in his back.
Yeah.
Cut that movie off.
Yeah, right after that, I'm good. Okay, that's the end.
Because I really actually enjoy that movie. Like, it's like a noir episode of Justified starring Wolverine. Like, it was good. It was
a
good.
good flick.
And he could get hurt in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, the concept was really, really strong. But the Logan is you're sad at the end of it, but that's
tremendous.
I can't watch that movie again. I'm not strong enough.
Me neither, man. I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's perfect, but no, turn on Deadpool. I want to laugh. I want the yuck.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, shoot. I can do an edit here, and we can get into our next topic.
Okay. What's the? Well, before we do that, I got a alert from Google saying, well, not Google, but like Hasbro, a thing that I ordered a while back is actually on the way now. It is a replica of Captain America's shield.
Oh, shucks.
Oh. Now, did you get the real deal?
Oh, that shit is 1-to-1.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hold up, man. If I may ask, what did you drop for Captain
I believe
America?
It was $119.
Wait a minute. Did you have a ski mask and a gun when you got this? How'd you get Captain America's shield with $119?
Man.
Yeah, you need to get up on Hasbro Pulse, man.
Yeah.
I've spent way too much money on Hasbro Pulse.
Is it all right? I'm looking this up now.
Bro, I got
the first thing that came up
right now. I got a Baby Yoda sitting on hold in Hasbro Pulse.
Look who I got right here on my desk.
Oh man!
Hey, Mando.
Oh man, y'all shouldn't have shown me this, man.
Man, go to Hasbro Pulse, but don't go to Hasbro Pulse.
Like, oh my lord, man!
Man, it's like Hasbro is showing out lately. They got the
man.
license. They got the Marvel Legends license. They got the Transformers. They got Power Rangers, if that's your thing.
And the Power Ranger toys are excellent.
They are good.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and they got digital life scan heads for some of them. So you can get a Tommy with Tommy's head.
Really?
Yeah. And then they got a weird a evil Tommy from a parallel universe where he never got released from Rita's grasp. And I know that I'm losing the fucking room right now. And
I'm gonna have to look for that. Hold up, they got MODOK?
Yeah, it's on pre-order. Yeah.
Hold up, I need to see the shield that you
got. Just type in. I think it's specifically branded for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and every Friday they do
a reveal. I think
a reveal. Yeah, and today's was a Marvel Legends House of X reveal, where they did Wolverine, Cyclops, Professor X, Jean Grey, Moira McTaggart, Alpha Sentinel, and I feel like there's another one.
Oh, fucking New Gods Magneto.
Oh yeah, Magneto. And yeah.
And, what's the Builder figure, Devon? It's a 3-headed.
The Tri-Sentinel. The Tri-Sentinel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is legit, man. I'm looking at it. This is slightly different than the cap version.
And you know what's
this,
beautiful about Hasbro Pulse? You ain't
Mm.
gotta go to Toys R Us no more and go searching through the pegs and hoping that like somebody's gonna like. It's like, nah, I'm a grown ass man with $20. Send it to me.
I love it. He said, "I'm a grown ass man with $20. You gonna send me
Send me
Wolverine?
my action
Yeah.
figures.
You gonna send me my Maura McTaggart action figure? Yeah,
Yep.
You send it. You send it right now." And Omar, if you have the picture in front of you, on the boxes of all the House of X figures, there's untranslated Krakoan for each person's name. It's so dope.
Yep.
This is how this episode should end. With me buying toys, action figures.
Don't you love how like the fucking the craziest out there concept was just to, what if the X-Men had a Wakanda?
I know. Actually, it's more like, what if the X-Men had Israel?
It is.
Like, that's the scary part. Because it's just
I
like...
love that T'Challa told Xavier to shove his drugs
y'all,
up his ass.
Y'all the chosen ones? Okay.
That's nice. Hey, man, I'm going to have to get this shield that you got. Because this looks like... Yeah, this one looks like the actual movie shield. You said it's on the way right now? It's coming to you right now?
It's coming to me. I believe it's in stock. So, like, if you want it, you might want to think about getting it in the vicinity of soon.
Got you. Yeah.
Because it might
look different than the...
They also
that's because they got this classic,
quickly.
too.
Yeah,
and you also got worried about the fucking
Pulse 2 tinned out. Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, I'm
also have
PlayStation money on this.
Oh yeah, they got like
you ain't getting a PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
not
gonna get a PlayStation.
So...
Right. Yeah, might as well get this. Yeah.
Yeah, they also have like Iron Man helmet and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Like a legit Iron Man helmet that you can wear?
Yeah, to scale.
And like Mando helmet too.
But yeah. I guess you can wear them. Depends on the size of your head.
I can't imagine that you wouldn't be able to, right?
Yeah.
Shit, now I want to see. I didn't even know they had Iron Man.
I didn't know.
Yeah. I think that's coming out in the near future, though.
Hold up. Hey.
Wow, okay, and of course that's sold out. $100. Oh wow, that is legit. An Iron Man helmet. Wait, you can wear it. Yeah, the dude in the picture is wearing it.
Oh,
dude in the picture.
Yeah, and they got the Iron Man Thanos gauntlet too.
Damn, it's huge.
They got all kinds of stuff now.
Holy fuck, he is wearing it. He's wearing the hell out of it. It looked like it even had room for glasses. Hot damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that.
Shit. Well, damn, I wish I knew about it. I'd have got that for money. Damn.
That's tight.
Oh, and the faceplate is magnetized. Fuck off. Oh god, stupid fucking comment underneath the review. Like, unfortunately, if you're a collector, this isn't the place to buy it from. It just comes in a retail, like a cardboard box with zero padding, so the box is all messed up when it... Shut up! Fuck up. See,
I see that. Yeah.
That's a nerd that I would bully. Like, shut up. Shut up.
These are the weeds. You know, that come along with the wheat. You know,
that must fall.
The chaff that must fall. Devon, this is that is a living, breathing example of what you just talked about in terms of the difference between enjoying a thing and hating a thing you should enjoy.